शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद हिस्टिमान ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की प्रेम सिखाओ जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की नेता गौर प्रेमानंदे श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की श्री श्री राधा दामोदर भगवान की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटी ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटी ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री श्री गुरु एंड गौरांगा ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला प्रभुपाद जगतगुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Welcome to morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are going to read from 4th canto 24th chapter text number 5, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. Repeat after me. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam Havirdhānam avindata ya Indram asvahartaram vidvan apina jagnivan. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam Havirdhānam avindata ya Indram asvahartaram vidvan apina jagnivan. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam Havirdhānam avindata ya Indram asvahartaram vidvan apina jagnivan. Prabhu. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam avindata apina jagnivan. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam Havirdhānam avindata ya Indram asvahartaram vidvan apina jagnivan. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam Havirdhānam avindata ya Indra asvahartaram vidvan apina jagnivan. Mataji. Antardhāno Nabhasvatyam Havirdhānam avindata ya Indram asvahartaram vidvan apina jagnivan. Word to word, repeat after me. Antardhāna, the king of the name Antardhāna. Nabhasvatyam, unto his wife Nabhasvatī. Havirdhānam, of the name Havirdhāna. Avindata, obtained. Ya, who. Indram, King Indra. Asvaharta, Asvahartaram, who was stealing the horse of his father. Vidwan api, although he knew it, na Jagnivan, did not kill. Om Gyanatimmirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayatim Girinyat Kripataha Mamande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Purvananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Iswaram. Translation. Mahārāja Antardhāna had another wife named Nabhasvatī, and by her he was happy to begot another son named Havirdhāna. Since Mahārāja Antardhāna was very liberal, he did not kill Indra while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice. Purport. It is understood from various scriptures and Puranas that the king of heaven Indra was very expert in stealing and kidnapping. He could steal anything without being visible to the proprietor, and he could kidnap anyone's wife without being detected. Once he raped the wife of Gautama Muni by using his disappearing art, and similarly by becoming invisible, he stole the horse of Maharaja Prithu. Although in human society such activities are considered abominable, the demigod Indra was not considered to be degraded by them. Although Antardhāna could understand the king Indra was stealing the horse from his father, he did not kill Indra. For he knew that if one who is very powerful sometimes commit an abominable act, it should be degraded. In Bhagavad Gita 9.30 it is clearly stated, Api chet sudracharo bhajate mam ananyavak sadur eva mantavya samyak vyavasito hi sa. Thus the Lord says that even if a devotee commits an abominable act, he should be considered a sadhu or a pious man, because of his unflinching devotion to the Lord. The devotees of the Lord never willingly commit any sinful act, but sometimes they commit something abominable due to their previous habits. Such acts should not be taken very seriously. However, because the devotees of the Lord are very powerful, whether they are on a heavenly planet or in this planet, if by chance they commit something abominable, it should not be taken into account but should be overlooked. Thank you for coming to morning Sri Bhagavatam class and everybody who is watching online as well. I would like to read translation again. Mahārāja Antardhāna had another wife named Nabhasvatī, and by her he was happy to beget another son named Havirdhāna. Since Mahārāja Antardhāna was very liberal, he did not kill Indra while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice. Once again, welcome to our class. Today we are going to discuss on the characteristics of Mahārāja Antardhāna. The chapter is like the chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. So here is still the previous thing we have already discussed in the Bhagavatam classes has been focused like Mahārāja Antardhāna did not kill Indra even if he stole the horse of his father. So here we can see like how powerful Mahārāja Antardhāna was. So if someone's getting confused, then Mahārāja Antardhāna is the eldest son of Mahārāja Prithu. His name is Bijitaswa. So he was so powerful that he's like he didn't kill Indra, means he was capable of killing the king of heavens. You can understand how much powerful he was, like how much capacity, because Indra is the king of demigods, and someone able to defeat Indra, someone able to he left Indra, he didn't kill Indra, means he was very, very powerful person. So Indra was so pleased later when Prithu Maharaj pleased Lord Vishnu, and Indra had to come and he had to ask for forgiveness, and he was so pleased by Vijitaswa that he was awarded the name Antardhāna. So, and he, as a eldest son of Prithu Maharaj, he had a saintly qualities, and he was a good king, as good as Prithu Maharaj. If we see their history, then Prithu Maharaj, after Prithu Maharaj, like we already discussed, how Prithu Maharaj left the world. So he was giving example in a Satya Yuga how people used to give up their body, even if they are king, if they are used to all the opulences and kingdoms. But at the end, Prithu Maharaj just gave up everything. So he had given different brothers. I think we have discussed in previous chapters, right? Previous verses, sorry, that who were the sons of Prithu Maharaj, and I'll have to repeat again. So they were like 5 sons, and each one, Bijitaswa or Antardhāna was the king, and he awarded the eastern part of the kingdom to Haryaksa, southern to Dhumrakesa, western to Vrika, and northern to Dravina, because like he was so attached to his brothers, like he used to love his brother equally. So in modern thing, like in Nepal, if we see, the king was assassinated in 2058 BS. So our timeline doesn't go according to the English timeline. We have our own calendar. We call it Bikram Sammat. So in 2058 BS, the king was assassinated, and many people were like, pointing out this and that, and one of the highly suspicious theories, like it's not still, nobody could still like find it, like what happened, how the whole royal family was massacred in one day, but only the king's brother survived, and everyone is like, no, he killed for the kingdom, and that led to the protest, like the people, they came in the street and they protested and they overthrew the king's brother. But nobody know if king brother really killed him or anybody. It was like political parties involved. It was like foreign agency involved. But from here, like we can see, if the king is attached to his position too much, then he will be. There are people who are envious of that. So, and if you look at our Nepal, like all the previous kings and everything, there were like lots of massacre and assassination. The brothers killing his brother just for the kingdom, like ministers plotting against king to kill king. All these things. It's been happening in history because they are like so envious. But here, we don't see anything because they are all saintly persons. They are sons of Prithu Maharaj, and he has divided the kingdom. Let the brother look after the kingdom, because he was not that much attached to the kingdom, as he was as good as his father in ruling the kingdom. And here we see like Indra has been like lots of time here. Like Indra, if you read this paragraph and you feel like, Indra is a really bad person. He is stealing, he's kidnapping, he's doing all sort of things that one shouldn't do. But we don't know which Indra this is, because they are like, the Indra is just a title and a position, because there are different Indras and different. So our Indra is Puranjana. Yeah? Purandara or Puranjana? Puranjana or Purandara? No, next Indra is Bali Maharaj. Now is Purandara or Purandara? Yeah. So our Indra. So this might be this is like a long millions of years ago. So this is during the time of first Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. So this is a different story, like different Indra. But so Indra also doesn't stay in that heavenly position for long, according to his whatever he do. He just Indra also has to repeatedly, after his pious activity is finished, he also has to come back wherever according to his life. If he is in devotional service, he will come back to Godhead. But if he is like not in devotional service, Indra has to also take birth again. Even Lord Brahma is not immortal, so Indra also not immortal. He has to, the cycle of birth and death is repeating in the heavenly planets as well. So, but looking that, we should not always judge Indra, because Indra is also a devotee of the Lord. Sometimes Indra is a bit too attached to his position. Like many scenario we can see, like Indra attached to his position. In 5th canto, if we see 5th canto or 6th canto, was it? When Vritasura was killed, because Indra had to go to ask Dadichi Rishi for the bones and all this kind of thing. And then another situation, Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadev Goswami, like, if Lord is not partial, like Lord is not favorable to this person and unfavorable to this person, if he is like favorable to everybody, then why he is killing demons for Indra? That kind of question also Sukadev Goswami was asked by Parikshit Maharaj, and Sukadev Goswami was like, nice question, and I will explain it here. And he's like explaining the Prahlada Maharaj and Hiranyakasipu story, all this thing. So here we see Mahārāja Antardhāna is a very saintly person. He's a Atmarama who is self-satisfied. So when I was like reading conversation between Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, the word Atmarama, Like Mahaprabhu, the Atmarama verse, he explained it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya like something 21 or something times. And then, and Sanatana Goswami pleaded like, please explain that Atmarama verse again to me. No, Atmarama. Meaning the verse is like, I don't know the verse completely, I haven't memorized it, so I don't know it by mouth. But that verse is like, whoever, even the Atmarama, the liberated person, they are like attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here we see like Mahaprabhu was like, no, that's Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just glorifying me because he's the devotee of the Lord. I don't have qualification and I don't recall what I said. So do you recall like what you talked to some person like 2 months ago? No. In this particular day, whatever you were speaking in the last year. So Mahaprabhu was like, although he remembered, he's a Supreme Personality of Godhead, like he was like, I don't remember, but I'll try to explain it to you. And Mahaprabhu started explaining like Atmarama means this, Munayo means this, Urukrama means this, and all this thing is like giving every meaning. And Mahaprabhu described the same verse in a 61 different ways. But in 61 different ways, he, like all the meaning were like the supreme, has to be like, devotional service is the topmost. Because Atmarama means, Atma means yourself, your soul. Rama means one sense is satisfied as well. So it's self-satisfied. So there are like many persons who are like self-satisfied, who are like in knowledge, Gyanis and Yogis. Sukadeva Goswami, before he heard the Nectarian Srimad Bhagavatam from Vyasadeva, his father Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami was like a concept of impersonalism. Sukadeva Goswami, who is telling the Srimad Bhagavatam. But after hearing it, he is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The four Kumaras was like, they were Gyanis, right? They were Gyanis, like they were wandering around the universe and they were like, who is this Vishnu? Let's see him. As soon as they saw his effulgence, they were like, Supreme Personality of Godhead. They became his devotee. Same as like Atmarama, Lord Shiva, he is always in meditation, in trance, he is always detached. But he always meditated on Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even the Atmaramas, Mahaprabhu is like telling Sanatana Goswami, they're like Atmaramas, this. But all the essence of this, everything is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Atma means soul, and Rama means self-satisfied, means if someone is and realized as well, self-realized as well. The Munis and the great sages are self-realized. Other meaning is Atmarama means self-satisfied as well. And Mahaprabhu in one point, he is like, if you look at that self, the dog is also Atma. It is a self. And if the dog is satisfied, then the dog is also Atmarama. The dog is also self-satisfied. So being Atmarama, being self-satisfied is not the only main thing. Even the dogs and hogs, the hogs is satisfied, with eating stool. It's like when Indra became a hog, when he was cursed to become a hog, and Lord Brahma was coming, okay, your curse is over. Please come become the king of heaven. Everybody thinks I'm the center of the universe. The dog littering the street, like dog walking, doing nothing in the street. Not these people on Australia. In Nepal and India, if you see like the street dogs. And every street dog thing, I'm the king of this world. Every single the multi-conditioned soul thing, I'm the center of this universe. Sorry, I'm just getting off the topic. Where was I? So even that dog and hog, they are like, if they are self-satisfied, okay, I'm satisfied. Indra was like, self-satisfied when he was a hog. When Brahma came and asked, let's go, he was like, nah, I have my pig wife here, and I have my pig children here. Every morning they sing that beautiful oink oink song, and then I get to still eat lots of fresh stool every day. So what's wrong in my life here? Indra was asking, what's wrong in my life? So people think like I'm enjoying, what's wrong in this human birth? So Prabhupada used to say like Krishna consciousness is not the art of living, Krishna consciousness is the art of dying. So here like Indra, and Mahaprabhu was like, even the dog and hawk can be Atmaramas. Because they are Atma, self-soul, they are also a soul, and they can be self-satisfied and they become Atmarama. So there is no point, just Atmarama. So the meaning has to be situated in the devotional service of Lord Krishna. Then only it makes a meaning. So Mahaprabhu was like making that kind of meaning. So like there are many Atmaramas like, who are like devotee is always Atmarama. Devotee is always satisfied serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't want anything for himself. Like Narada Muni, in the same conversation, in the same line, same topic, they were talking about. Mahaprabhu narrates the story of a hunter and a Narada Muni. So once Narada Muni was went to Prayag in where Yamuna and Ganges met. He went to Vaikuntha, met a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he just went to take bath in the Sangam of Yamuna and Ganges. And there in the forest, he saw like many animals, boar, this, that, and other animals, different birds. They are like in agony, pain, crying, like they are half killed. Someone has shot an arrow, but they are not fully killed, but they are dying, but they are slowly dying. Someone is in trap, trapped in some trap, and then they are like crying, and then Narada Muni, and he saw a hunter hunting animals. And as soon as Narada Muni came, like other birds and animals, he was walking, and then they flew away. He was going to kill, and Narada Muni, and the hunter asked like, "Oh, great sages," although he was a hunter, he was like he showed respect to Narada Muni. So he asked, "Oh, great sage, what have you done? Did you lost the way in your forest, or you come here by intention? Because of you, the animals get disturbed, and now they are running away. So how would I do hunting?" And Narada Muni was like, no, I was just walking around this area and I saw you. Narada Muni was like, "Why do you kill this animal half? Why you are killing this animal half?" And he was like, "Because I take pleasure in this." He was like a kind of like a psychopath. Not a psychopath. He later became a devotee. But the people who are like serial killers and psychopaths, they took pleasure in torturing people. They take the pleasure for them, that gives them like the adrenaline, they release the body release. For us, the dancing in kirtan, that ecstatic bliss, for them that's like torturing people. They torture people when they cry in agony, and they get that pleasure, like kind of that, the crazy people. So but he was like, I get pleasure when I see this animal tortured like this, half dead. Narada Muni was like, "You should not kill like that." He was like, "No, I'm a hunter. My father taught me like this, and I was raised like this. I started hunting from my childhood. My father used to do this, and I learned it from my father. Now I do the same way. That I kill the animal in half, and I take pleasure watching them dying slowly. And Narada Muni was like, "Okay, can you please grant me a favor?" And he was like, "Okay, great sage, you are a great sadhu santa. What should I do for you? Please ask me. Please ask. I have a very nice animal skin. You are like, because the sannyasis, they used to wear animal skin, and they used to wander in the forest." He was like, "You want some animal skin?" And Narada Muni was like, No, I don't want anything like that, because Narada Muni is not that sannyasi. He's a preacher sannyasi. And he was like, "No, I don't want this. Simply do me a favor. From next time, don't kill animal half. Even if you want to kill them full." See, Narada Muni is giving him instructions like, don't kill him half, kill them full. And he was like, "Why should I not kill animal in half, but I kill them in full?" And Narada Muni was like, although killing animal is bad, but if you kill them half, then they will suffer in pain and agony, and you will get lots of bad karma then, compared to killing them completely. So if you kill them completely, still you're going to get bad karma, but after you kill them half, you're going to get lots of bad karma then killing. So Narada Muni is like not telling him to stop killing. He's telling him, just kill them completely. He's just using his ways, the people, how they are. Like Prabhupada used to preach to the people on how their consciousness was. If someone is like wants something, because Prabhupada used to like every question you ask, Prabhupada used to understand your mentality of you asking question, and he used to give answer what you want to hear, but relating it to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada used to give answer like perfectly like that. Like what kind of person you are, So different person expect different kinds of answer, and Prabhupada used to award the answers and different. So Narada Muni is like giving him that kind of instructions, and by the just tinge of the Narada Muni association, he also gave him later, like he was like, he realized and he fell into feet of Narada Muni, and Narada Muni gave him diksha, and he told him, "Go, you chant in the house, and then you do all this, you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and go in your house and do everything." And then he went in there, and he was like, he gave up everything. He told his wife, "Okay, we are giving." He just got rid of all the skin and everything, and he and his wife started worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, follow the instruction of Narada Muni, and then they started getting bliss. The more bliss he get in killing animal, like there's like, you can't even compare the bliss he's getting in bhakti now. He was like, what is this bliss? And then he was like so much so engaged in the bhakti of Supreme Personality of Godhead that he and his wife and Narada Muni, one day he was telling Parvata Muni, let's go and meet that hunter over there. And when they went to meet the hunter, Parvata Muni was shocked, like a person who is killing animals half and leaving it to, like, torturing them, leaving it to die slowly, and who is taking pleasure in that, is now even cautious while walking if he is stepping on any ants or any insect. He's like, even if he cross over them, he would like do Dandavat Pranam to them. So that's the power of association of a devotee. Narada Muni is like a touchstone. Wherever he goes, he makes devotee. Narada Muni. That's why he was cursed. Daksha's son. Daksha, he begot, like Daksha was Daksha Prajapati. His job, Prajapati means his job progenitor. So his job is to increase the population at the start of the creation. Daksha Prajapati had like thousands of sons. All went to austerity. Narada Muni is giving them a analogy. He's not telling them directly. He's giving them some analogy, and then they have to crack the analogy. And when they crack the analogy, they realize that, oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhakti is the greatest thing. They become Brahmachari. And Daksha was like, what? And then he again produced a second generation of children after first one became Brahmachari. Narada Muni is like on his own way, like, don't get married, become a Brahmachari, surrender yourself into the devotion, like go out, do austerity and all this thing, because he is like giving them everything. And Daksha cursed Narada Muni, like, you can never stay in one place for longer. That's why Narada Muni can't stay in one place for longer, because he was cursed by Daksha. He just goes in there for some moment, then he has to travel to other place. And Prabhupada said, like, he was cursed by his the parents of his devotee, that he can't stay in one place for longer time. So in that way, and he was shocked to see that. So that's the power of association of devotee. So even Prabhupada, when he was very sick, he was kind of like winding up his pastime at the end of his pastime. And devotee used to say, like, okay, if Prabhupada go to the West, Tamal Krishna Maharaj is one day saying, oh, Prabhupada, you don't need to go to doctor, but all you need, you said you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that's my medicine, book is score. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, okay, I think it's good for you if you go to America, in Los Angeles and San Francisco temple, because they are like devotee were like doing books. They used to do like 400, 500,000 books. They are like, how many Prabhupada used to ask, how many books you printed, and this many thousands? How many you distributed in a year, and this many hundred and thousands? Like something 100,000 they used to distribute in 1 year. So like everyone like crazy. They were like, a temple were colliding with each other for book distribution. Okay, they are doing more, we'll do more. And Radha Damodar party is doing more books, so we have to do more books. That's their mood. Because they were so wanted to please Prabhupada. Can you just imagine the surrender they have for Prabhupada? Simply. They don't know who Krishna is. They don't know who Krishna is. Like before Prabhupada told him who is Krishna, they don't know who is Krishna. They don't know, like, they don't even believe that there is a God or anything. They believe like, oh, realize, die, you born, you enjoy, you die. That's it. But simply Prabhupada said you do this, they did it. No question. Prabhupada said do this, this is the method, okay Prabhupada, yes Prabhupada. Whatever please you Prabhupada. That's the surrenderedness to the spiritual master. I was reading that Prabhupada biography book, and I feel like, reading, I might be wrong, but the devotees, the disciples of Prabhupada were more surrendered to Prabhupada than to Krishna. Because they knew if they are surrendered to spiritual master, then he is ultimately going to take them to Krishna. So they were more surrendered to Prabhupada. Their mood was to satisfy Prabhupada. They are like always doing, Prabhupada, when his disciple from Europe and America used to visit Prabhupada, he used to ask them, okay, what have you brought? Where is the book? And they were like, used to get so scared of Prabhupada, and now after some time, every Prabhupada disciple who visit Prabhupada, they used to present some new book, like, okay Prabhupada, now we have finally translated Bhagavad Gita in Spanish, and this is a new book in front of you, and we are distributing this 100,000. And then Prabhupada used to say, okay, he was to be happy. Even in his deathbed, Prabhupada was like, on his final breath, he used to say like, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and send me your score. I want to hear how many books you distributed. That's giving me life. That's making me, even on his like, how Prabhupada passed away, right? He was dictating till his last moment. his puppet of 10th canto. So he was like, that's give me inspiration to write more. That give me inspiration to finish Bhagavatam. That give me inspiration to finish Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada gave us many examples. He's an Acharya. He's not Acharya like this. He's Acharya because he taught us how to live our life. How to live your life, how to die, and how to... Prabhupada taught us in 3 different ways. Through his life, by living a life of Krishna consciousness life, of a pure devotee life, through his books, giving us his books, and by his death. Prabhupada disciples were discussing like, now Prabhupada is, I think, going to finish his pastime in here. Now he is eager to come back to Godhead. Now they were taking it as a last lesson. The last lesson Prabhupada gave in his life was how to die. How to die. Sometimes devotees have a really glorious death, right? Bhismadev. Bhismadev had a glorious death, lying in a bed of an arrow. And when he's praying to Krishna on the bed of arrow, he's remembering like, although I have taken a vow, although Krishna, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had taken a vow that I will not even lift the weapon in the war of Kurukshetra. And I have taken a vow that I will make Krishna lift his weapon. Now Krishna is like, there is a collision of a vow among his devotee and a Krishna. Krishna is telling, I'm not taking any weapon. And Bhismadev is telling, I will make you take your weapon. And Bhismadev is fighting so, vigorously. He was like killing all the soldiers. And Arjuna was like, they're Moros. My grandfather. And Krishna was like, if you don't kill him, I will kill him. And Krishna ran toward Bhismadev. And Arjuna was dragging, please, okay, I'll fight with him. And Bhismadev is memorizing that thing. To fulfill a vow of his devotee. Lord Krishna is happy to break his own vow. When Prabhupada was on his last moment, the devotees were chanting there. So Krishna was personally present there. In the form of a Bhagavatam he was dictating. In the form of a holy name. In the form of and with the association of Vaishnava. Prabhupada taught us the art of dying. Even on his last moment, he is giving us the lesson. So what should be we don't have, I think this is this one particular word I tell in every single Bhagavatam class I have given. We have no qualification to even chant the name of Krishna. We have no single qualification. We're reading book, we are like, oh, Prabhupada preached to hippies. We are no better than hippies. Our only qualification is, Prabhupada is a touchstone. Like same as Narada Muni converted hunter. Prabhupada similarly, he was like a Narada Muni. He was like a touchstone. Wherever Prabhupada would go, the devotee will follow. People will become devotee. Mlechas, the Mlechas will become devotee. Meat eaters, Yavanas will become a devotee. So that's the power of a pure devotee. That's Narada Muni, Prabhupada, how they used to convert. They are ready to deliver the whole world. They can deliver the whole world. When Prabhupada was like, if you read that book, like that's so best. I was reading that book, this book, the Prabhupada biography condensed version by Satsvarup Das Goswami Maharaj. I read that book for like 6 or 7 days. I was like, nah, keep going. And I finished the whole book in like 1 week. Because I was so much like, Prabhupada, his like whole life, if you see, he's teaching, every single moment he's teaching. And his humility. When Prabhupada, God brothers came to Prabhupada, the last moment of his life, last few days of his life, what Prabhupada was saying? Because I was getting puffed up, because I was getting pride that now the whole world know me. I'm preaching to the whole world and I've got so many people following me. That's why Krishna is making me like this. But and his God brother like, no, you are the pure devotee. But he was a pure devotee. Prabhupada is a pure devotee. All the thing he did, he simply did to satisfy Krishna. He used to show, in ISKCON, he used to always tell his disciples, now I will retire. I will focus on finishing the Bhagavatam. I'll focus on that. You guys take up the managerial affairs. After saying that same thing, after 2 hours, Prabhupada will again get involved in managerial affairs. He will again get involved in financial things. He will say like, no, I will go and take rest now. Now I'm going. Prabhupada, many times he went to different countries. He went to Hawaii, he went to Los Angeles, San Francisco, this and that place, simply because he was getting sick. And devotee was like, you are taking too much pressure, just go and have vacation, sit down. Prabhupada would go there, stay 2-3 days, travel to other place. And devotee was like, no, Prabhupada, you can't travel. Your health is not good. Tamal Krishna Maharaj is protesting. Bhakti Charu Maharaj is protesting. Gopal Krishna Maharaj is protesting. Like, no, Prabhupada, please don't go, please don't go. And Prabhupada was like, okay, you want me? Okay, I'll stay. And again he would go to preach. He didn't care about himself. He was like, just by my presence, if my disciples, because they are simply doing it for Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada preached and he came to India and he's traveling to different places. So they are not getting association of Prabhupada directly. So just to Prabhupada, just to go and get them energized, make them energetic. Prabhupada is to go to the people, stay there for some time, again travel. Despite that bad condition of health, he was travel. When Prabhupada started the first temple in 26th Avenue, and then some devotees, I forgot the name. Sorry, I'm so bad with the name. Can't remember. His disciples, they went to San Francisco, Los Angeles, one place. And then the second temple was established there. And then they were like having a program, and Prabhupada, they invited Prabhupada, okay, here the people are happy. There's like musical concert and this and that going on, bands are performing, and you have to come and we have talked them and you can give a speech to the people as well. And Prabhupada was like, really? He was like so happy that I can get to preach, But the devotees, they were like, no, Prabhupada, you can't go. These people won't understand, and there's no one there, they are not going to take good care of you, because they were simply thinking this ISKCON Krishna consciousness will be only limited to 26th Avenue. The only people who are here is here. We are Swamiji's follower. They used to say Prabhupada Swamiji's. We are Swamiji's follower. And then this is the only place. None of the single person there thought like Krishna consciousness will even get out of that 26th Avenue in America. Not a single person. They were protesting in front of Prabhupada. Don't go, don't go. We can't do it. And Prabhupada is so determined to go. And there is one particular line. That's the favorite line I have ever read. My favorite line ever read. In there, Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj writes, although devotees were protesting not to go, Prabhupada was so determined to go, and we couldn't stop him, because he write this particular line. He didn't belong to New York. He belonged to Krishna. And he was ready to go to hell to preach. He was ready to go to any extent to preach. So you can see how compassionate and how merciful Prabhupada is. What's his mood? The giving the holy name to other people. So he is like a touchstone. That's a pure devotee of Krishna. So what any of this 0.1% quality we have in us? Our only quality is, because Prabhupada touched, he's a touchstone. And once touchstone is, touch something, iron, the iron converted into gold. So gold is touching the rusted iron. That's our only qualification. That we come under the shelter of Prabhupada. And our one and only mission and goal should be to please Prabhupada. If you see the devotees, should go and distribute books in the street. When some devotees like the Krishna consciousness was growing now growing, like started growing, and there are like many enemies as well. There's like case going on. Parents are doing court case like, no, they are brainwashing. And Prabhupada says like, brainwashing? You rascals, your brain are filled with, dirty things. I'm brain cleaning, not washing. I'm cleaning your brain. I'm removing all the nonsense thing from your brain. I'm not brainwashing. Prabhupada is say like that. And then he was like, and on 26th Avenue, there was like a funny story. There was one guy who used to argue, who used to try to challenge Prabhupada with his concepts. And he used to go do research. Every day he used to go and do research. Different other philosophies to challenge our philosophy, like, our Mahaprabhu's philosophy, Achinta Veda and Prabhupada's concept, what is written. And he would come, he would argue with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada would defeat him. And he would go, and shameless guy, he would again prepare next day, okay, he told me like this and this, but what if I question him that? He can't answer, and he can't defeat me in this argument. He would go, again put new argument, Prabhupada will defeat him, he would go back. Third day he will come, He's not going to change. He came, argue with Prabhupada, Prabhupada defeated him, he went back. He came, argue with Prabhupada, Prabhupada defeated him, he went back. So, if you are really surrendered to Krishna, then that's, and you will be undefeatable. You can preach to every single person. When devotees, they were like doing, sometimes they used to do like, thousands and 10,000, 15,000 of magazines in one day. They used to, and when like George Harrison wrote his, his realization and all those kind of thing in Krishna book, devotees just like go crazy. In George Harrison, they're like going in Beatle concert. Like devotees are used to go to toilet, and people who are like passing water in the bathroom toilet, they are like, you take the book, and they're giving book to the people in the washroom. And the first, when they distribute magazine, small money, when Prabhupada like finally like released the book, and he's giving them instructions. Now you distribute this hardbound book. At first people were shocked. Okay, we ask small donation, distribute one magazine. That's okay, but how are we going to distribute these big hardbound books? And one time, sorry again I forgot the name. One of Prabhupada's disciple in America, he just went to one store. He just bought something, and he was like, in exchange of this thing, can you please take the book? And then he exchanged like a barter system. He exchanged the goods for the book. And then he was like, wow, this worked. They started trying in that thing. And when he started walking, people are taking books and giving their goods as well. Someplace, he started walking, and they are sharing. And now they are like slowly distributing like 5-10 books. Like, oh, we distributed 10 books today, whole temple. Like, and Christmas marathon came. During the time of Christmas, it's a realization of one Prabhupada disciple again. One Prabhupada disciple, he said like, he was distributing books, and then he was like, okay, it's like already midnight, 11, 12 p.m. now, shops are closing. There are no people in there. I think I should go to temple. Everyone must be there. And he did something books, like 50, 60 something books like that or something, maybe, I'm not sure, numbers. But he did like lots of books, like double-digit number books. Not sure, like he used to do 4, 5, and he did like 30, 40 books, something like that. And he was like, wow, this is the best record. Now nobody can beat my record. I did lots of books. And then he went to temple, saw nobody in there. And he asked only one pujari or someone in there, where is everyone? And he was like, nah, nobody has came. They are just distributing the books still outside. He was like, I distributed more books, and I came like late in nights. Everybody's there, but nobody can break my record. And devotee is like, he came at like 11 or 12. Other devotees, the whole temple, they came back at 2 a.m. in the morning after distributing books on the night of Christmas. And in that Christmas marathon, they distributed 10,000 books. 10,000 books, hardbound. And when devotees used to get asked, why don't we go for book distribution, right? Because for us, our ego is important. I'm the center of, what I said before, I'm the center of this universe. So my pride will get hurt. I approach somebody, they will reject me. That's the most fear. The maximum you get is rejection in books. Maximum you get is someone come and hit you, someone come and slap you, someone will curse you. Right? The max. People will hit you, police will come and catch you. But you are doing it for Krishna. So until you think, if police catch me, what will happen to me? What will I do? That I is there. How will I do book distribution? That I is there. Because I'm important. I'm an important person. I'm the center of this universe. The whole world revolves around me. My pride will get hurt. Why? I'm so important person that why should someone reject me? I should be rejecting them. So why should I go book distribution? Better I do some easy service in here. Better I sit in Basasa and give Bhagavatam class. That's the easiest service to do. Giving Bhagavatam class is the most easiest service in Krishna consciousness Prabhupada has given. Because simply has to speak. You can speak. Speaking is like easiest thing, right? You can even make up things like, speaking people like a politician, they leaders, they're like, I lifted. You can even go and speak like Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, I can lift big mountain that. Speaking, simply you can say anything, nonsense or whatever. But you can speak. So give Bhagavatam class talking about Krishna, and Krishna is unlimited, and talking about Krishna and his devotees. You can never stop. So Bhagavatam class can keep going. From day to night to morning to wherever. 10 days continuous, you can give Bhagavatam class if you don't get tired. Because the content will not get over. But book distribution, your ego will get hurt in there. When devotees they used to get asked, but why you guys are doing? You don't get afraid of book distribution? Because we are afraid of book distribution. There is one incident of me getting afraid at book distribution. I went in there, hold the books. For 3 hours I standed in one place without even waving at a single person because I was afraid. I was really scared because that ego was there. Because I didn't realize that Krishna was with me. I didn't realize. And devotee used to say like, why should you get afraid? What Prabhupada said that I am with you in the form of my book. Even if I pass away, I will forever be with you in the form of my book. And devotees just say like, Prabhupada is with us. So the book and like, so I'm going to distribute book with Prabhupada. They used to think that Prabhupada book is like a assistant of Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada has given everything he has to teach in his books. So why should we get afraid when pure devotee of Krishna is going with us for book distribution? And when Krishna and himself is protecting us from the back. So we don't believe. Because for us, that me is important. That's why we think like, I have to do book distribution. That's why we can't do book distribution. Because we are not doing book distribution. We are not doing anything at all. That's simply the mercy of Prabhupada we are doing it. Any service. Why did Prabhupada build this whole empire? We are his soldiers. We are his soldiers. He is our general, the supreme leader. And then, why did he build the Krishna consciousness? So that we can eat opulent prasad. So that only we can come and sing in temple. So that only we dance in front of devotees. We give class in front of devotees. Prabhupada could have easily done that in sitting in Radha Damodar temple. In Vrindavan. See, they are like, people are going for Vrindavan. Prabhupada, that's the example Prabhupada is saying. People are going to, now I'll go to Vrindavan, sit in Radha Kund, do bhajan, because now I'll pass my body in Vrindavan. Prabhupada, at the age of 70, is traveling world, preaching, giving Krishna prem to all the people, to all the fallen conditioned soul, coming back even in Vrindavan to pass his body. You don't have to go and sit in Vrindavan for 30 years and do bhajan to pass your body in Vrindavan. Prabhupada traveled the whole globe, like 5 continents, 6 continents, like 5 or 6 times. In Europe, America, every single time he used to travel. And Prabhupada disciples, one of Prabhupada disciples, Mahārāja, he said like, now we realize we are also reaching that age. Now we realize how hard it is. We travel one day, we get jet lag. Prabhupada used to travel, go, give class, travel next place, give class, travel next place, give class. Wake up 2 a.m. in the morning, translate Srimad Bhagavatam, chant his rounds, give class. He is always welcome people who come and question him. Never like, I'm tired, okay, go. No, everyone's welcome in there. Even when he was living in Bowery Street with the hippies. Prabhupada and one of the devotees, they are like, in one place. When Prabhupada is talking about preaching in Africas, because the African people, Prabhupada is saying like, they are a little bit, not into this culture. And they were like, no, it's very hard for us to preach in there. And Prabhupada is like, telling them a story, like when I used to live in Bowery Street, the bums used to come and like pass water in front of my door. But I don't know how, whenever I walked in, they used to leave away from me. They were like people sleeping on in front of Prabhupada's door. Like how he struggled in New York. Just taking, when you came to Australia, Prabhu, how many, you don't have to like tell exactly, but you brought money with you, right? Because if I don't get a job in there, I'll survive 1 month, something US dollar or AUD. Prabhupada had 40 Indian rupees to go to America. Doesn't know where he's going to live, doesn't know what he's going to eat, doesn't know what he's going to do. Simply going to distribute the masses, simply following the instruction of his spiritual master. That's why. So we don't have that qualification. But if we want, we can have that qualification. Prabhupada lived it by example. Prabhupada is simply, most of the time, people are like, okay, Prabhupada is a pure devotee, so we can't do what he has done. You don't try, you don't do, because we're not sincere. If we become sincere, Because that's an excuse. Excuse is the word used by a fools or a weak person to hide their weakness. If someone is excusing, okay, no, this happened actually, it means they are hiding their weakness. They are trying to avoid, they are trying to hide this message that they are weak, but they are weak. Excuse is the only fool in the dictionary, is the only word in the dictionary of a fool who try to hide his weakness. That's the excuse. So our excuse is, no, we are not, that's the hard for us because we are not elevated soul. So simply, Prabhupada says, chant 16 round, we'll chant 16 round, eat, offer food to Krishna. Whatever I want to would eat, I'll cook yummy food for myself, but actually offer to Krishna, and I'll do my sense gratification. That's not what Prabhupada wanted us to do. That's not what he built ISKCON for. Instead of coming and doing kirtan in a temple for like 5 hours a day, go and do Harinam in the street. That's what is really important. That's what the message of Mahaprabhu is. Jaridako tareko Krishna Upadesh. Whoever you see, you distribute the message of Krishna, about the Krishna. Talk about Krishna to the people. I have changed my Bhagavad Gita. I don't know how many Bhagavad Gita I have changed. Every time I carry a book in my bag, I meet somebody, give them the book. I buy a new book. Take money from them, buy a new book. Because my Bhagavad Gita has been like from last 1 year, my Bhagavad Gita, even if I go now, is new. Always my Gita is new. Because every time I carry Gita in my book, I distribute to somebody. I'm like, last year of uni, like teachers and friends are like, okay, next year, one teacher was like, okay, next year, now I'm only teaching to this level. Now you are getting level up, you are going to final year. So now I won't be here with you next year. Okay, I wish you good luck. And I was like, oh really? And then I was like talking with her and telling her like, I was like this and that. And I was like, okay, take this book. Like, so that's, even if you take one small book, because at the end of the day, the book distribution story is the best story. Right, bro? Because when you come, and like when the devotee, they came back 2 o'clock, they didn't sleep whole night. And from 2 o'clock, they were like sharing stories, laughing and giggling like, oh, I met this guy and he was like this crazy. And I told him this book. Like, the book distribution is the funny story. Like, oh, I'm a monk. Hello, how are you? Simply like, it's very easy. It's not actually that hard if you are surrendered to Krishna. Because you should crush your ego that I is important, that I should not be there. And then that's the best story, book distribution. And when devotee, they started doing like last number of books, 2-digit number, they were like, what is this thing? Why is this thing giving us bliss? They were like shocked. They were like, oh my God, I never tasted this much bliss in Krishna consciousness before doing book distribution. Actually, there is a realization of proper devotees. They are like saying, when we distributed book for the first time, that taste of book distribution, every time. And they're like, devotee was like, no, we go for book distribution now. Now they are like, because when Narada Muni, in his previous life, when he saw that, when he was meditating, he saw Lord Vishnu in his heart, revealed himself. Lord Vishnu as a Paramatma, he revealed himself in the heart of Narada Muni. And Narada Muni was after that hankering, where is Vishnu? Where is Lord Vishnu? Where is Lord Vishnu? And he tried to meditate, process the same way. Okay, I'll do the same way. Now I'll meditate the same way I meditated. I'll fix my mind in the same way. He didn't see Lord. Because Krishna can't be obtained by method. There is no method to obtain Krishna. You sit and do this, just do this and chant this mantra for 10,000 years, Krishna will come. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Until you have that I ego in yourself. When I do it, you're gone. You'll never be able to achieve Krishna consciousness. When the I is there. And devotees were like shocked. What is this bliss? We never had this bliss in Krishna consciousness before when we distributed books. And now they are like, we found it was the medicine to kill this Maya. To challenge Maya. Now Maya can't touch us. Now they are like distributing thousands and thousands of books. And like there is competition. This temple did this much book in this marathon.
And the other temple is like, no, we did this much books. But that's a spiritual competition. They are not like, no, we have to do more books than you. This the hell. They are like, trying to push each other, trying to push each other to grow up. That should be our mood in Krishna consciousness. So everybody need to do book distribution. That's the mission of Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada himself said, only this book is giving me life. And I feel like I want to live. So, at least try to, even if you can't, try to distribute small books. Because that's our Krishna consciousness mission. Our Krishna consciousness mission is giving mercy to the people, giving Naam to the people, delivering the fallen conditioned soul. That's the dream of Mahaprabhu. That's the dream of God Nitai. Doesn't matter. That's not a job of only brahmachari. Preaching is not a job of only brahmachari. Preaching is not a job of only sannyasi. Preaching is not a job of a particular varna or ashrama. Preaching is a job of everybody. If you see in Mahaprabhu's time, sannyasi used to do preaching, vanaprasthas used to do preaching, a grihastha used to do preaching, their wives used to do preaching, their children used to do preaching. Everybody is like, their mood is like preaching, 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 preaching. Give Naam to the people, give Naam to the people. Nityananda Prabhu used to give, he was a grihastha, he had 2 wives. He used to preach. After he left, Janava Mataji, his wife, she used to preach. I don't have much time to explain the story of Nityananda Prabhu's son, how good preacher he was. So, summaries of this class is, so that's it, like Prabhupada. We have to always get surrendered to Prabhupada. Only because there is one verse in Bhagavatam that says like, the lotus feet of the pure devotees are like a boat. Once you hold tight of the boat, then they will help you cross the nescience of this material world. So Prabhupada lotus feet is our boat. So if we hold tight to that, if we follow the instruction, it's going to be easy for us to go home back to Godhead, or even get service in next life. Because we don't know if we get to do service for Krishna in next life, in what form of life we are getting born. So give up your attachment to everything. Give up your attachment to money, to yourself, to your pride, to your ego, lost anger, and simply preach this message to the people. That will be our one and only mood in Krishna consciousness. I'd like to conclude my class. Thank you very much for joining. Any questions? No? Thank you so much. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki.